Well, first, let me just say it's a core American principle of our justice system that every American is entitled to be presumed innocent until proven guilty. It's also a core principle that no one is above the law. And I have had the opportunity to read the indictment that was filed. I can't defend what's alleged. These are serious allegations. And the handling of classified materials, as I learned in my years as vice president and my years on the Foreign Affairs Committee, is a very serious matter that bears upon the national security of the United States. And I share the concern of millions of Americans about the way politics has played a hand, whether it be when Hillary Clinton was exonerated in 2016 for essentially engaging in exactly the kind of behavior that President Trump is accused of here.
Not exactly.
So this is what we're saying. We're seeing
Why is he lying?
Because he's
I thought he was a very kind of measured, religious, good man.
You're being sarcastic now.
You're lying.
So what they're doing, all these statements are bifurcated, John Heilman, where they'll tell the truth, right?
And then they won't.
Serious matter.
They'll tell the truth because they can come back and say later when it really goes sideways.
I said it was serious.
I said this was very
serious allegation.
I said this was and then they play to the cheap seats where they'll lie and say, well, this is exactly what Hillary Clinton did in 2016. No. We could read again how it didn't happen and how there weren't two systems of justice, that you actually had Hillary Clinton not only exonerated by the Obama administration and James Comey, but also exonerated, a de facto exoneration by the Trump administration, because Donald Trump in 2017 pushing for a special counsel. And they came back to him and said, there's just nothing here. 2018, pushing for a special counsel. They came back. There's just nothing here, Mr. President. You've got nothing. And he didn't push it because he realized Hillary, as we've seen from Horowitz's investigation, Hillary didn't do anything remotely what the guy who's stealing nuclear secrets was doing.
What you see there, in addition to everything that you just said, Joe, is that you see I hate to say this, the enduring power that Donald Trump has over the Republican nominating electorate, because everyone is trying to take him down. They understand that they see Trump saying those things. The way Trump has done this, which is the deep state is out to get me. There are these two standards of justice. I'm innocent. The Democrats and the communists and the Marxists go free, and I get persecuted. And they see that it has worked for him. He continues to be, the front runner in the Republican nomination contest by a long, long way. And he's built a foundation of real power in the Republican base by playing that song. And if you're Mike Pence sitting at 6% or 8% or 10% in the Republican nomination polls, you make a kind of lame, half-hearted effort to kind of go there and try to attach yourself while distancing yourself with Trump on one hand. You want to attach yourself to his juju, and it doesn't work. I mean, this is why Mike Pence is not at this moment is not a serious challenger to Donald Trump, because you can't do that kind of on the one hand and the other hand thing and really be a potent, particularly in today's Republican Party. But that's what you see there, is all these people recognizing that they want to have it both ways for their own politics. They also, if you're Mike Pence, we got to somehow figure out how do I get into that.
It's like Governor Haley saying what she said, which was the right thing to say if you actually care about national security, and then the next day saying, "Well, yes, I'd pardon him." Yeah. So you could, but again, with that, you could make the argument. That's what Gerald Ford did. Yeah. And that's why he won profiles
for the country.
For me, I can deal with that. Running in a Republican primary. Okay, say it's a crime. Say you should be convicted. And then if you want to play to the cheap seats by talking about pardon, that's at least, it's got precedent. It's not a lie saying, oh, well, he's doing the same thing Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Mike Pence are doing.
Yeah, Nikki Haley said in a radio interview yesterday, after a long answer, we have it here. She said, I am inclined to pardon, but after a long answer where she was critical of what Donald Trump is alleged to have done. Here's what she said.
What's happening is unfortunate. I think the Justice Department has handled this whole thing terribly. I mean, you can't have one standard for Democrats like Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and then another standard for Republicans like Donald Trump. And we're seeing that again. And we're seeing that again with the Biden bribery recordings that have come to light. I mean, the country should never stand for that. And I think that we should all speak up and we have to be loud about that. Having said that, if the claims in the indictment are true, if they're true, then Trump was incredibly reckless with our national security, and that's not okay. So now if you've got the question of a pardon, I mean, that's a very different question. I'm not going to presume President Trump's guilt. I think we all need to let this trial play out. We need to see, exactly what happens. But, when you look at a pardon, the issue is less about guilt and more about what's good for the country. And I think it would be terrible for the country to have a former president in prison for years because of a documents case. That's something you see in a third world country. I saw that at the United Nations. So I would be inclined in favor of a pardon.
So here you have half of it, pretty tough, pretty to the point.
Slipped in there.
The other half of it reminds me of what Aristotle said to Socrates in a debate. You're just making shit up, and that's what they're all doing.
Joe.
No, but that's what they're all doing. Half of what she said just is a lie.
Yeah, but
the other half, though, she has the other half. So again, when it goes sideways and even more evidence comes out, she can, well, see, I was saying this was a dangerous thing, right?
Again, drop a little. I'm inclined to pardon. Mention the Biden bribery reporting.
Get that one
come
in.
to light. We
Get
should
it
talk
in.
about that in a minute.
Talk about
But on the crime barge.
Hillary bleaching. her-
Okay, Jonathan Lemire is.
I'm
so sorry.
He wants to quote Aristotle.
Yes,
too.
please. Really?
That's the translation, in fairness. That's the English translation.
It's not quite how it sounded in the original Greek.
Not
But
in the original Greek, but I mean, you sort through it, you can.
But that is the, Jonathan Lemire, that is the pattern. The op-ed page of the Wall Street Journal this morning says this is a misguided prosecution. It makes all those disclaimers. They shouldn't have done it. We worry about the consequences downstream. But come on, guys, says the Wall Street Journal, look at what is in this indictment. It's bad. And in fact, kind of an extraordinary moment at the end, they suggest that the party not nominate Donald Trump. They've gone to that place. They say if Republicans nominate Mr. Trump again, they won't own the libs, as the faddish saying goes. The libs will own them. So the Wall Street Journal page breaking with Donald Trump in its own way.
In its own way, but noteworthy all the same. And we are seeing the idea of electability become more front and center for some Republicans. Senator Thune yesterday said, and he's been a Trump critic at times, saying that he doesn't believe Trump can win, and also Trump would have a disastrous effect down ballot, could cost them the House and the Senate. And in terms of Nikki Haley, yes, it's obviously wishy-washy. It's a bit of a flip-flop, but it's illustrating in sort of real time what all of these Republican candidates are grappling with. And a couple of Republicans I spoke to yesterday, leading senior Republicans in the wake of the arraignment, say, this is in some ways how you have to approach it. On one hand, yes, you're waiting for these indictments to come in and try to take out Trump for you. And we've seen so many Republicans outside of Chris Christie refuse to take him on directly. But they say if you take him on too hard, you are risking turning off all his voters, because there is a sense among Republicans who are doing some polling, though the support for Trump is still wide and his hardest core base still with him. But some of the other Trump supporters, for them, their support's a little softer this time around. They can be persuaded to go somewhere else. But the sense is they have such affection and loyalty to Trump, the person, they don't want to see you be too nasty, too hard on him. They want, these Republicans tell me, the voters want to see the competitors treat him kindly, with respect, even as they then try to move him off the stage. So maybe what we're seeing there from Haley is to try to win over some voters who are open to another candidate, but don't want to see Donald Trump trashed while that is being done.